Filed February 18, 2023. WRIGHTCO. Missouri. Did trigger Judge Carter's recusal. Case numbers 22WR-CR00256 and 22WR-CR00553. Affidavit of April Miller. 1. April Miller, being of sound mind and over the age of 18 years, do hereby swear and affirm under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Missouri as follows. 1. My name is April Miller, and am the partner of Darrell McClanahan. Have first-hand knowledge of the events surrounding the bond posted in case number 22WR-CR00553 and the communications regarding its retention. 2. On or about June 20, 2024, was present when Darrell McClanahan, via phone call, spoke with Lori Jones, the circuit clerk of Wright County, Missouri. 3. During this phone call, heard Lori Jones state that the $3,500 cash bond posted in case number 22WR-CR00553 would not be returned at that time because Judge R. Craig Carter had indicated that the cases were being treated as consolidated. 4. Personally provided the $3,500 cash to secure Darrell McClanahan's bond and have suffered financial harm due to its continued retention. 5. The refusal to return the bond has placed an undue burden on our family, as we relied on the understanding that the bond would be redeemed upon the resolution of case number 22WR-CR00553. 6. Affirm that the cases of 22WR-CR00256 and 22WR-CR00553 have been handled as functionally consolidated, despite no formal consolidation order, as demonstrated by joint hearings, synchronized procedural steps, and the court's treatment of bond retention. 7. The continued withholding of the bond is unjust and does not align with the legal principles governing bond returns in Missouri. T8. Submit this affidavit in support of Darrell McClanahan's motion for return of bond and to clarify the record regarding the statements made by Lori Jones concerning the status of these cases. Swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. Further, affiant saith not executed on this day of 2025. 24346 S. 2425 Road, Milo, Missouri, 64767. 417-321-3460. Notary. Acknowledgement State of Missouri. County of N. On 2025, before me, a notary public in N. for said county and state. Personally appeared April Miller, known to me to be the person who executed the foregoing instrument, and acknowledged that she executed the same as her free act and deed. In witness whereof, have hereunto set my hand and affixed my official seal. The day and year first above written. Notary seal. McKay HACBUSHONSGN Public Notary Seal State of MISSOUR. My. Commissie WO, N. A. XS Degree Re-SS. November 20, 2027 Y Commission Number 14,629,987. Notary. Public. In the Circuit Court of Wright County, Missouri. State of Missouri. V.O. Due filed. Darrell McClanahan, February 18, 2025. Hartville, Mo. Case numbers 22WR-CR00256 and 22WR-CR00553. Defendant's motion for return of bond, clarification on case consolidation, and correction of board bill calculation, with additional request for findings of fact and preservation of appeal rights, comes now. Defendant, Daryl McClanahan, pro se, and respectfully moves this. Honorable Court to 1. Order the return of the $3,500 cash bond posted in case number 22WR-CR00553. 2. Clarify whether case knows 22WR-CR00256 and 22WR-CR00553 have been de facto consolidated. 3. Ensure proper calculation of defendant's board bill for time served in Douglas County Jail. 4. Make specific findings of fact regarding the treatment of these cases. 5. Explicitly preserve these issues for appeal. In support of this motion, defendant states as follows. I. Introduction. Defendant has been subjected to parallel proceedings in both cases which have been handled in an effectively consolidated manner despite no formal consolidation. Order the court and prosecution's treatment of these cases as functionally linked, particularly regarding bond retention, joint hearings, and coordinated procedural steps, warrants judicial clarification. Defendant seeks the return of his bond, a proper accounting of his board bill, and explicit confirmation regarding whether these cases have been merged in practice. 2. Evidence of de facto consolidation. A. Shared court personnel. Both cases have been presided over by Judge R. Craig Carter. Both cases have been prosecuted by Special Prosecutor Matthew Weatherman. Defendant was represented by private attorneys in both cases, including Christopher Swadish and Benjamin Arnold, as well as Lori King of the Missouri Public Defender's Office. Attorney King is defendant's current attorney and did attend portions of the harassment trial, even though at the time she was not representing the defendant. B. Parallel mental health proceedings. The court ordered mental health evaluations in both cases on March 10, 2023. The same Department of Mental Health, DMH, attorney, Thomas Condro, entered an appearance in both cases. Competency determinations were made simultaneously on November 21, 2023. Suspending and resuming both cases in unison. R. NRN. C. Coordinated scheduling. Joint hearings have consistently been scheduled in St. Ludding. Mara 26. 2024. Pre-trial conferences in BVGZD cases. February 18, 2025. Upcoming hearing for bond rem and other issues TNL. CDMGH scheduled for February 18, 2025. E. Defendant's motion to terminate representation of PRler counsel was filed QN both cases until the March 25, 2024 and addressed amply by the court. D. Procedural synchronization and Dokkaev, Mangfei, Gecht. Both cases _we. E. Tragsfei, RFLED from Ozark County to W. RLGHT County. Together, the security level in both cases was raised DJ Simil tape _Cusley's GP, AG, at 2024. The trial for 22WR-CR00553 resulted in a guilty verdict ONRAPNL 1-8, 2024. WHLLE on the same date. 22WR County Route 00256 was marked as Hearing cancelled. The timing of the docket entry cancelling the trial in 22WR-CR00256 after the sentencing in 22WR-CR00553 suggests strategic case management tirathinthi bond considerations _ defendant posted a $3,500 cash bond in 22WR County Route 00553, which was transferred from Ozark County. Defendant was released on his own recognizance in 22WR-CR00256 and did not post bond in that case. Defendant has been deprived of his bond for 244 days, June 20, 2024. February 18, 2025, without legal justification. F. Plea offer by the prosecution confirms consolidation. At the pretrial conference, the prosecution offered a plea deal requiring defendant to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor harassment charges spanning both cases in exchange for 7 days in jail. Dismissal of the 3 additional charges still pending, including the property-related charges. The state treated these cases as functionally consolidated for plea negotiations while treating them as separate for bond and other procedural purposes, violating defendants' due process rights. G. Statement from April Miller regarding recorded phone calls on bond retention. On June 20, 2024, April Miller was present when defendant spoke with Wright County Circuit Clerk Lori Jones. Ms. Miller confirms that she heard Ms. Jones state that the $3,500 bond posted in case No. 22WR-CR00553 would not be returned at that time, as Judge Carter had indicated that the cases were being treated as consolidated. Affidavit. April Miller attached Exhibit A. VHI. Request for relief. Wherefore, defendant respectfully requests this court T. 1. Order the immediate return of the $3,500 bond posted in case number 22WR County Route 00553. 2. Issue a formal ruling on whether case Nos. 22WR-CR00256 and 22WR-CR00553 have been formally or informally consolidated. 3. Provide written justification if the cases are deemed separate, given their extensive procedural history of joint management. 4. Order the prosecution to submit detailed documentation supporting the board bill calculation, including the specific daily jail rate charged during defendant's incarceration, any applicable policies and considerations. 5. Issue specific findings of fact regarding the consolidation, bond retention, and board bill calculation. 6. Explicitly preserve these issues for appeal. 7. Grant the remainder of the bond, after any legitimate deductions, to the Missouri Public Defender's Office on behalf of defendant's legal defense. 8. Grant such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper. Under the circumstances. Defendant pro se. Case numbers 22WR-CR00256 and 22WR-CR00553. Notice of Hearing F. LED 2. The Clerk of the Circuit Court of Wright County, Missouri, February 1, 8. 2075. 2. Special Prosecutor Matthew Weatherman E.I. WRRCIUIGTHT Company Court. 2. All other interested parties IARTVILLE, Mo. Please take notice that a hearing in the above captioned matters has been scheduled as follows. Date: February 18, 2025. Time: 9 a.m. Location: Wright County Circuit Court. Address: 125 Court Square, Hartville, Missouri, 65667. Judge: Honorable R. Craig Carter. The defendant, Darrell McClanahan, will appear pro se, and this hearing will address 1. Defendant's motion for return of bond. 2. Clarification on case consolidation. 3. Correction of board bill calculation. 4. Request for findings of fact and preservation of appeal rights. Defendant respectfully requests that all necessary patrites attend and that the court grant the requested relief. Respectfully submitted. This motion has not been properly docketed on 256 case. Some docket entries in this motion that's on there is not being properly filed with the court. Some docket entries in this motion that's on there is not being properly filed with the court.